So firstly what I'm doing is I'm just going in with my Peter Reese base and just patting that all over the eye, getting our eyes all prepped before getting in with our eyeshadow. So for this whole entire eye look, we're going to be taking the Morphe 12NB palette, and we're just going to start pushing this in towards the end of the crease area, like the outer corner of the eye, and then blend it towards the middle of the crease. This is like just pretty much the majority of where we're blending this colour to. So we're pushing it in, and then we're using small little wiggling blending motions to start to blend that out. Don't try and blend straight away, otherwise you'll just disturb your base. So now we're just going to take a nice transitional shade from the palette, and we're going to start to blend this around the edges of the brown that we have placed down. Guys, I kid you not, this palette is insane. The pigmentation is so good, and the colours just blend out so lovely. This is a palette that I would probably use on a daily basis, to be quite honest. This is the colours that I would use on myself all the time. The palette is so small, it's perfect to fit in your purse, perfect to bring away on holiday with you if you don't want to bring that much like shadows away with you. So yeah, I highly recommend. And then I'm just going to go back in and further deepen up my crease with that same dark brown that we used. So just going back and forth, having a little play with all your colours. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be taking a matte white from the shadow just on a little flat brush, and I'm patting this all over the lid space, and then afterwards I'm just going to take that nice brown shade that we used again and make sure that there's no harsh lines between the white and the brown. So yeah. So I've just lined my lash line with some liquid liner. This is the NYX matte liquid liner, and then what I'm doing is I'm just taking a matte black shadow from the Anastasia Soft Glam palette just to blend out the edges of the liner. So I've just popped on some lashes, and the lashes that I had used today are the Jeanette Cronin Cyan lashes. These are absolutely beautiful. And now for foundation, I'm just taking my Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade 220, and I'm applying that with my BTY number 3 brush, just using little pat motions to blend that in. I never swipe or never swirl, I just always make sure I use pat motions to get the coverage that I want. So for concealer today, I'm taking the Unique Mineral Touch Skin Perfected Concealer in the shade Scarlet. I just place that under the eyes, forehead, cupid's bow, nose and chin, and yes, I'm blending it out with a beauty blender. When would you ever see me using a beauty blender again? Just fancied a little change today, so I'm using the Real Techniques beauty blender to blend this all in, and I actually really enjoy I enjoyed working with this today because it made my concealer look airbrushed into the skin. And then I'm just going back in with my foundation brush, just whatever's left on it, to make sure that the edges and stuff's completely blended. And also I found that the concealer did look a little bit too bright for me today, which is why I did go in with my brush again to make sure that it wasn't too white looking. But yeah, really enjoyed working with the beauty blender today. So for my contour today, I have used the SMOKEY Complete Contour Palette, and I'm taking the shade number 2, and I'm just going to contour my usual places, my cheeks, my forehead, my jawline, and then whatever's left on my brush, I'll just use that to blend down the sides of my nose. This is like my first time ever using this contour palette as well, guys, and I loved the consistency of it. I loved how creamy it was, how well it blended out. I just thought it was a dream to work with, so I highly recommend. And then I'm just taking my little beauty blender again, and I'm just going over like the edges of the contour, just making sure that everything is all nice and blending into my skin properly, and there's no harsh lines or there's no harsh edges or anything like that. So guys, going back in with the SMOKEY Complete Contour Palette, and I'm taking the shade number 3. This is just like a nice highlighting powder that's just going to set your highlighted areas in place. I thought this was beautiful to work with. real nice creamy consistency in the matte shades as well. So I'm just applying this all over the highlighted areas. So now what I'm doing is I'm just going back in with my Real Techniques sponge, and I'm just going in with the Coty Air Sponge translucent powder, and I'm just like sharpening it up underneath the area where I had done my cream contour. Now I'm not baking for long, guys. I'm just leaving it as it is for like a few seconds, and then I'm going to dust it off with a large powder brush. So I've just placed that obviously under the contoured areas, and then I'm going to just apply some on my chin and down the sides of my nose, and then afterwards I will go in and dust that all off with a large powder brush, just because I don't like having that pure white cast around the face or like such a huge sharp line like with baking. So I just leave it on for a few seconds. Now this is what I used to do like flipping years ago. I always used to bake, but I don't really do it as much anymore. I just thought I would try it out today and see how it went, and I really loved how my base turned out. So yeah, just dusting this all off now. I'm not setting my contoured areas in place or anything, because I am going to be going in with a bronzer in a second or two, and then that's going to act as like our setting powder basically. So I have just spritzed my face with some Fix Plus, and what this is going to do is it's just going to leave us nice and hydrated throughout the day, and it's also going to give us a little bit of a damp base so that our highlight glides on seamlessly. So I'm taking the Molly O'Brien M07 brush and the Doll Beauty Champagne highlighter, and I'm just applying this all over my face pretty much. So to bronze my face up and set my cream contour in place, I'm taking my MAC Cosmetics Dark Deep Mineralized Skin Finish. What I'm doing is I'm making sure that I am patting the powder on first before going in straight away and using blending circular motions, because if I do that straight away, it's going to lift our like move all the cream about basically, and it's not going to look cute. So you want to make sure that you're patting it on a little bit first, and then you can go in and just use your regular like blend in circular motions. I didn't want to go in with too much of this today, because that cream based product that we used from the So See Me palette was super pigmented and left a nice colour on my face already. So just get in with the BH Cosmetics Professional Blush Palette, and I'm taking the peachy shade, and I'm just placing this all over the cheeks, and then just whatever's left in the brush, just applying it on my nose a little bit. So back to the under eye area, I have just placed some black gel liner in my waterline and underneath the lash line, and then I'm going in with a little pencil brush now and going back in with that darkest brown that we had used, and just blending that underneath the lower lash line, of course. So now what I'm doing is I'm just going back in with that little transitional shade that we had used earlier on, and I'm just placing this like underneath the brown just to blend it out even further, and pretty much that's it for the lower lash line. So the last thing that I'm doing in the eye portion area is I'm just taking a nice little highlighting shade from the palette and placing that in my inner corners. And then I'm just going to finish off by adding some mascara just to my lower lash line. So for my lips, I'm just filling in my lips with my favourite lip pencil, which is the Makeup Forever Versatile Chestnut Lip Pencil. And then I'm going over the top with the Colour Drain Sugar Liquid Lipstick. And then afterwards, I'm just going to finish off with a little bit of the Coraggio number 23 gloss. So guys, this pretty much concludes the end of the video. I hope that you have enjoyed it, and I'm sure you're glad I have finally sat down and used some new products. I enjoyed working with all the new products that I had tried out today. And yeah, so I hope that you have enjoyed it. Don't forget to give the video a big massive thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you aren't already subscribed. Also, don't forget to follow all my other social media that'll be listed down in the description box below, along with a link to where you guys can purchase my lashes. So yeah, I will see you all in the next one.